Hello everyone, Nathan Cox here. Well guys, I know this is not my normal videos exactly, I got a lawnmower here behind me. You guys are probably wondering what I'm doing here in the garage, what we're talking about here. Obviously, some of you already guessed it by the title of the video, Working with the lawnmower here. We're going to do a tune-up, a seasonal tune-up on it. It's springtime right here. Right now when I'm shooting this, the grass is shot up. I'm past due on mowing. But I like to service my equipment every spring right before I use it, kind of spring cleaning of the power equipment, if you will. Now, one of the things I've already done, and I kind of skipped, but that's a really pretty easy thing, is spark plug on the lawnmower. I already changed that. That's a simple thing. Most of them will be right in front here, sometimes they're more on the top, but generally they're right in front. You just got to pull the cord off, get yourself a socket that fits, take the spark plug out. Take it down to your local store, either where you bought the lawnmower from or even your automotive store, local AutoZone or O'Reilly's or something like that. We'll generally be able to get you a new spark plug. That's actually where I got all my spark plugs at. I find that they have a better selection there of choices, sometimes better prices too. Also, we're going to change the oil on this little puppy. That's right. I know a lot of you just kind of might have jumped back on me like that and thought, well, you changed the spark plug, what else is there to do? A lot of people, so don't take this the wrong way, don't realize that these lawnmowers like that one right there behind me, you're supposed to change the oil every season. Just like you would your car, 3 months, 3,000 miles. Well, lawnmowers kind of have the same thing. They're a 4-stroke motor just like it's in your car, just a much smaller version of it, much simpler, but it still holds the oil in it. Now, I think probably what confuses most people about that is that your leaf blowers and your weed eaters are typically what they call a 2-stroke motor. It means you mix the oil and the fuel, and you probably have never changed the oil on that. That's because there's no oil to change. The oil is mixed in the fuel, and that's what lubricates the cylinders and everything as it goes. And you're literally burning the oil, and it's lubricating during the whole process. Lawnmowers are typically all 4-stroke motors. And just like your car, they need an oil change. Now, this being, like I said, a very simple thing, there's no oil filter on here. So if you could be like, well, I've had the thing upside down and I've, scraped the grass off from anything, I've never seen an oil filter. That's because there's not. The only thing is there is a drain plug. You got the oil fill on top. I know, hopefully you guys know that. You can check it. It's got a little dipstick. And there's a drain plug on below. So what I'm going to do is like I said, I already changed spark plug. Number one thing to do. And then there are, let's see here, I think 3 other things that I'm going to do. Number 2, be taking the blade off so that it can be sharpened. Number 3, changing the oil. Taking the blade off is really good because sometimes it's in the way. So sometimes you kind of almost have to take the blade off to change the oil. And then the 4th thing is I'm going to put a fuel cleaner in with the gasoline. It helps take any of the buildup, any of the gumming effect. The cheap gas or sitting in the garage over the winter without being run at all. A lot of you are probably also like, why am I taking the time to do this? Why am I spending my money? It's just a little lawnmower and it runs. And when it goes out, I'll just buy another one. Sure, my neighbor does the same thing. I think he gets a new lawnmower every 2 or 3 years. This one here, I think is, pushing 8 years old. And after the first start of the season, it's a one pull start. That's it. Still starts and runs like it did on brand new. I expect to get another 7 or 8 years out of the thing. So weigh that out for you. You can run your equipment until you kill it, or you can take care of it, and it can live a lot longer than you think it should. Oil. Again, you can get the oil where you bought the lawnmower at. They should have little jugs of oil for your push mowers. Most of them will be basically somewhere close to half a quart. You see here, this is a regular quart automotive motor oil, 30 weight, just a SAE 30, your 30 weight motor oil is basically what most of these take. Now you can always check your owner's manual on that. I like buying the full quart, 2 reasons. Well, I'm sorry, take that back, 3 reasons. 1, it doesn't cost hardly any more than that sub quart does where you buy a lawnmower. Fractionally, I think maybe $1 more. So, second reason why I like it is if your lawnmower ends up burning a little bit of oil through the season when you're checking it, you've got some oil to add to it. That's great. Third reason, since these things do not have an oil filter, there's nothing catching the gunk or anything like that, when I drain the oil, I like to pour a little bit of clean oil in before I put the plug back in to flush it out. I find that it helps give it a cleaner oil change, and then I put the plug in and then I top her off. You do be careful because it just doesn't take a lot of oil to top this puppy off, and you don't want to get it over full. Now, with that said, I'm going to actually do all the work here behind me, and I'm going to do my first attempt at a time-lapse video. So guys, I hope you like it. I hope this is helping you out so far. Let's get to it. Okay, so there you go. There's the tune-up. You got to see the whole thing. You notice I stopped there in the middle to show you guys. Most drain plugs on those little lawnmowers just use the square end of a 3/8 ratchet or a 3/8 extension. So that's not a special tool there. It's actually, that's all it is. What else? Like I said, I'd already done the spark plug the other day. Wish I would have saved it for this, but all you gotta do is unscrew it off the front, put it back in. Oil, I'm going to start it up and let it run for a minute and stop it, make sure all the oil is settled, and then double check the level, but I think I'm right about on there. Guys, thanks as always. I hope you like this video, I hope it helps you out, helps it learn something new. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks again.